Hi, this is Samantha, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about the science behind the making yogurt and the fermentation process. First, this is going to have two main bacteria when you're using your yogurt starter. You're going to add that into your milk, and that's how the main fermentation process starts to work. The milk is going to start turning into yogurt by the bacteria consuming the lactose. It'll break it down and turn it into glucose and galactose. This is when the lactic acid actually starts forming and making the fermentation, turning the glucose into lactic acid. Then the protein chemistries start, and this is when the yogurt starts to actually get thick. They clump together, and essentially a protein traps the water and the fat. And this is how the higher fermentation time helps the yogurt to get thicker and everything like that. And that's how kind of your
Okay,
yogurt
to make your
then
yogurt,
starts
you're
to
going to
form.
need a thermometer and a warm towel, plain Greek yogurt, whatever milk you want. I used whole milk, and then a pan. For your first step, you're going to want to add a cup of whole milk into your pan, and you're going to repeat this step 4 times. Then you're going to want to heat up your milk. You're going to do that to kill any unwanted bacteria, so the milk is ready to add in the yogurt starter. You're going to want to let the milk boil to 180. Then to make your yogurt starter, you're going to use 2 1/2 tablespoons. Then you want to add in a little bit of milk so the starter is ready to go in the milk, and add the live cultures. Then finally, once it hits 180, you're going to want to turn the stove off. Then when it's finally down to 110, then you're going to want to pour the boiled milk in a separate bowl completely. All of the live bacteria should have died by now. And then you'll make sure to add in your mixture. Then once you have your milk and your starter together, you're going to put it in the oven under a light to keep it incubated so the bacteria can grow and ferment. Then once you finally let it sit for over 8 hours, you'll finally take it out of your oven with your light. Take it out and set it on the counter. And then there you have your own yogurt. There will be a lot of milk in the entire container, but you'll want to empty a lot of that out. The actual yogurt consistency is going to be at the bottom of the bowl. So I just poured out a little of the milk into the sink, and then the bottom had all of the smaller chunks where the yogurt was. Then I mixed it all up, and then your yogurt should be finished. You can add any flavoring you want to it, strawberries, honey, granola, anything like that. I think I'm going to add honey to mine and then eat it for breakfast.